Listen, I think Indian women are one of the most beautiful women in the world, and I'm not just saying that because I'm Indian. Trust me, I used to take these ancient, beautiful rituals for granted, but now that I have developed a prefrontal cortex, I am obsessed with my culture, and more than that, all of the beauty rituals that we have. Because let's be real, Indian women have mastered beauty. I'm talking thick eyebrows, long, luscious hair, thick, long, dark eyelashes, radiant skin, and all without Sephora. Growing up, I ignored all of these things. Ghee, I was like, no, that's fatty. Chickpea for my face, weird. Consistent hair oiling that my parents used to do on me. Why do we have to do this? But now, like I said, I'm obsessed because the stuff us Indians grew up with works. It's potent and most of the world is just now catching up. So in this video, I'm breaking down real Indian beauty secrets, what to eat, what to use, and how to glow from the inside out. First, we're going to talk about internal beauty because what you eat and what you consume reflects outside. Beauty and glow is built in the gut, so we're going to first start with ghee on an empty stomach. This isn't just a healthy fat, this is an Ayurvedic gold. All you have to do is take 1 teaspoon on an empty stomach, drink it with warm water, and you will notice your digestion improve, your gut lining is nourished, it boosts your skin's natural radiance, and my favorite, because I have rheumatoid arthritis, it lubricates your joints. Number 2 is drinking okra water. This is sort of going viral on TikTok right now, but it is something that Indians do, where you just chop up like 2 to 3 okras, put it in water, soak it overnight, and in the morning, drink that slimy liquid. This is again going to coat your gut lining, it's going to reduce inflammation, and it's really great for supporting the hair follicles and sort of strengthening them from the inside out. I think there's a bunch of other benefits to okra water, but those ones are the ones that I find the most potent. Number 3 is drinking fenugreek water, also known as methi, and this is just soaking those methi seeds overnight, and then in the morning, drinking it on an empty stomach. Again, all this has to sort of be done on an empty stomach and first thing in the morning because it really maximizes their healing properties and all the benefits that you're going to get from these things. So drinking methi water is another one. It balances blood sugar, it reduces acne, it has amazing hormone balancing properties, and again, it's great for scalp health from the inside. For an external tip, I'm sort of jumping ahead, but you can also just use methi water on your hair and just put it in a spray bottle and just spray that on your hair because it's great for hair growth as well. Okay, so we're talking about beauty secrets, the oils, the scrubs, the rituals that make people stare when you walk by, and we will be getting to all of those. But let me ask you something. When people lean in closer, what are they smelling? Because looking good is one thing, but smelling like you have a luxury signature scent is another. You need both, and that is why I use Scentbird. Scentbird is this genius fragrance subscription that lets you try luxury fragrances without committing to a $300 bottle. That's what we love. For $8, you can try designer and niche perfumes in these travel-sized bottles that last the entire month, and then just switch it up based on your preference, your mood, the season. This month, I am wearing Nicole Miller All My Love, which is this one right here. It is so nice. It's got notes of pink lady apple, sugar crystals, pink rose, grated coconut flakes, and whipped cream. And my other scent of the month is this one. It's called 2787 by Per Se. And because it's still summer, even though I would love it to be fall, this is a great light floral scent. Notes of violet leaves, aldehydes, bamboo, ambrette seeds, and musk, which are very, very nice light scent. The Nicole Miller one with more notes of like sweet and vanilla and that sort of nighttime vibe. I'll be wearing this to the jazz bar. This one, on the other hand, has lighter notes, so this I would wear daytime. And if you're like me into varying scents, I don't just stick to one scent. Scentbird has over 900 fragrances to choose from, which is amazing, including all the classics like Versace, Gucci, and some niche brands like one of my all-time favorites, Parfums de Marly. I personally love a good cheat code and making things easy when it comes to my life, and I am no different when it comes to my perfumes. Scentbird sort of reduces that blind buying, just huge bottles of perfume, because a lot of times perfume that you spray at the store changes drastically once it sits on the skin, so you don't want to commit to a bottle that smells really good when you spray it, and then it turns out it doesn't sit well with your own pheromones and your own oils. So that's one of my favorite things about Scentbird is you're not blind buying. And remember that scent is one of the most powerful things to make people remember you, so having a signature scent and making sure that you're trying different ones to get locked in on yours is so important. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code here on the screen and use my code Vikita to get your first month for just $8. That's code Vikita for 55% off your future signature scent. Because remember, timeless beauty also includes scent. My personal tip is to not add all of these in right away. Rotate between them like 2 to 3 times a week and you will notice such a difference. Now we're talking external beauty secrets. I've divided this into skincare, hair care, and your body. So for hair care, this one is huge. It's trending on TikTok, has been, but we grow up with this as Indians, and that's just doing oil on your scalp weekly. So every Sunday or every Friday is when I used to do it. My parents used to rub oil in our hair and like literally vigorously rub that oil in. You can heat the oil up and do a hot oil, but I just like to go simple. I use this brand called Vatika. That was like what we used growing up, and then a lot of people are now using amla oil. That one's great, but it smells really bad. So use your discretion with that one, but They work. Use it weekly, massage it into your scalp, and I'm not talking like a gentle, very cute, soft massage. I'm talking like vigorously get in there. If you don't want to use your fingers and you want to use one of those tools, those scalp tools, you can, because that makes it a little easier, but making sure you're massaging and circulating the blood flow is actually the most important, not the oil itself. When we were growing up, we used to leave it overnight. A lot of people are saying don't leave it overnight now, but do what you want to do. I used to leave them overnight. I don't anymore because I don't want to get acne, because the oil does sort of seep into the skin, but you can leave it overnight. You can leave it in for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, minimum 2 hours, whatever you want. Again, going back to my previous glow up video, consistency over perfection is going to get you better results than trying to do it perfect every time and leaving it in for 3 hours every single time you do it. As long as you're doing it consistently and you're leaving it in for like 20-30 minutes, you're good. Number 2 is using henna, or we call it mendi, on the scalp. So you can actually use it as a hair dye, like a more natural alternative to hair dye for grays and roots and all of that. Or you can make a mask and use it on your scalp as like sort of a scalp scrub. This just sort of helps promote a stronger scalp. And like I said, using it just to sort of dye your grays, it's like a soft tint. And then the third one for sort of hair, but like facial hair, castor oil on your lashes and on your brows. This will have your eyelashes looking so long, like spiders. You might even have to start trimming them. Your brows will be nourished. So I used to do brow lamination, and I still do eyelash lamination. And I noticed that the eyelashes start to get very coarse. So castor oil will help stimulate hair growth and grow them longer, but it'll also act as a nourishing oil to help keep the eyelashes and the brow hairs soft and silky. Because sometimes I'll be frying them off and they will feel so rough and dry and they will look coarse. So getting that nourishment back into them, if you do brow lamination and eyelash lamination, you definitely want to use castor oil just as a conditioner anyways. Next, we'll go on to skincare. There are so many Indian skincare secrets. I'm going to share a few with you. These are my top personal favorites for different sort of goals that you have. So you can just do a straight chickpea flour and yogurt mask. This is going to really help brighten and even out your skincare. It's sort of like the rice of Korean skincare. It's just a really great scrub. It gets very, very hard on the skin. If you can't handle pain, I would not suggest this one, but this one is amazing for brightening and just an overall even skin tone. It also, I'm pretty sure, helps reduce oil production. So if you have very oily skin, this one will be great. If you have more drier, sensitive skin, this one I notice breaks me out a little bit or gives me those closed comedones. So I don't tend to use this one often, only if I need that really bright looking skin before an event or before I'm doing something. The second one is a cult favorite, and that is using turmeric. We have been using turmeric in our culture for eons, okay? And now everyone is on it, and that's totally fine. You know, everyone can learn from each other, but turmeric is amazing internally and externally. If you suffer from dark spots, hyperpigmentation, you're suffering from an uneven skin tone, and maybe you can't use the chickpea one because you do have dry or sensitive skin, turmeric is the next best thing. It's actually probably the best thing if you want the entire sort of all-in-one skincare mask. I would go for this one. All you do is add a little bit, like a quarter of a teaspoon into yogurt with a little bit of manuka honey if you're feeling spicy or fancy, which sometimes I don't, but I just do turmeric. As long as you're getting that in there, you're good. Put it on your face once a day, every single day. You will notice your skin looking so radiant and glowy. It's sort of revealing your own skin's radiance, if that makes sense. It's not really giving you radiance, it's revealing your own natural radiance. Remember that turmeric stains majorly, so be careful and only use a little bit and put it in Greek yogurt. And if you're fair skinned, make sure you are only putting literally a pinch, otherwise you will be this color. The third one is one of my new favorites. I actually haven't used this one before. I've just started using this in the last couple of months, and that is using neem as a paste for spot treatment. So neem is really good for acne. It's also great for detoxification of the blood. So if you want to take it internally, you can as well. But this one's great for just a spot treatment. You mix a little bit up with water or yogurt. Yogurt has great lactic acid, so it's great all over. Or you can just use it on the big pimples that you have, and it will clear that stuff up quick, because it's especially great for cystic acne and hormonal acne. The fourth one is a really, really underrated one, and this is using saffron serums instead of vitamin C. Vitamin C is obviously super talked about. It's an extremely important antioxidant to use on the skin. However, it is very unstable. Most vitamin C's you find at Sephora, on over the counter, they are extremely unstable. So as soon as they're exposed to air, they lose their stability, which means that they just lose the benefits that come with using a vitamin C. Unless you're spending like $200 on a very, very high-end, high-quality one, you're not going to see amazing results unless you're extremely consistent and you're investing in it. That's my personal opinion. Saffron has the same properties as vitamin C, but it's a lot more stable. However, there's not a lot on the market. There's one, and I think it's the brand Ravinant. I'll leave it on the screen or I'll leave it linked in the description box. It is a bit on the pricier side, but I have heard great things about that. But just consider that if vitamin C is not working for you, you can maybe try saffron, because a lot of Indians do use saffron in their beauty. Now let's talk body care. The first is a body scrub called Uptan. So this is just using chickpea flour as a body scrub. You mix the chickpea flour with turmeric and with yogurt. Again, yogurt is amazing because of the lactic acid it naturally has in it. Mix that up and use that like 1 to 2 times in the shower. You can use it before the shower, let it sit as a mask, and then get in and sort of scrub it. That is amazing at revealing that bright, healthy body skin. The second one, which I just put in body care, but you can use it on your face obviously, and that's threading. So threading instead of waxing and shaving, it is so much better. But if you can't do it yourself, which most people can't, you actually have to tie the string. But doing that for your face, I would not suggest threading your entire leg because you'd be there for hours or days even. But threading your eyebrows, threading your stash, threading the hairs like the peach fuzz and everything, threading is gold. Threading is less inflammatory than waxing, than shaving. Specifically, I hate shaving. Threading just sort of helps preserve your skin barrier without ripping the skin. And third in body care is using ghee as a balm. So you can apply ghee to your elbows, to your knees, where it's looking a little bit darker, on your knuckles, on your fingers, anywhere that's dry. It will just reveal that soft skin. It will just have you looking dewy and hydrated very effortlessly. So here's a sample snapshot of what this routine could look like without adding everything in, because now you've had about 15 different things into your routine and you will not keep up with it, and it will just be overload for your body. So this is an example routine. I'll screenshot it and put it on the screen so you can try it out for yourself. You will notice incredible benefits. These are all natural, amazing things to add in to your glow up routine that are very inexpensive, budget friendly, and very, very clean and good for you. A quick reminder, if you're doing all of this glow up work but you have no signature scent to make people remember you, you're missing a piece of the puzzle. So remember to go to the link in the description box and use code Vikita to get started with Scentbird. And thank you Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. If you want to take your glow up to the next level, watch this video next.